MP Blaikie. I want to say just a note to MP Blaikie. We got some news yesterday from MP Blaikie. I know that you've made a decision. You won't be with us after the end of March, but and I know you're going to be with us still for 1 week that we have when we come back in March. But we just want to thank you. I want to thank you for all the collaboration, for the contributions that you've made on the many studies here at this committee, and for the last 3.5 years that you've sat here with us. So we thank you very much for that work. And the floor is now yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I appreciate that. I wanted to follow up on some of the questions about the changes to the EIFEL rules. I know we've also heard from some pension funds that are concerned about what this may mean for certain items in their existing portfolio, and wanted to ask if the department had considered grandfathering existing projects so that there's no retroactive application to investments that have already been made.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly consider that. We've consulted extensively with stakeholders, so there is no grandfathering in the legislation. That's a policy decision. The rules were announced first in Budget 2021, so people have had a significant amount of time to plan and react to the rules. There's also a number of exceptions built into the rules, including exceptions for Canadian businesses and medium and large Canadian businesses that don't have material non-resident either assets that they own or shareholders. So there's various exceptions that are built in to try to accommodate different situations, but we don't include grandfathering. That would be, it would be quite complicated for one thing, and it would create a lot of other issues.
One of the issues that's come up in relation to the Clean Technology Investment Tax Credit is that where companies are partnering with Indigenous communities to have an equity component, what I'm hearing is that there are some projects that, because the kind of marginal cost advantage once the Clean Technology Investment Tax Credit is in place would favor not having an Indigenous equity partner, because they can't apply the ITC to their own component of the project. That implementing one without implementing the Clean Electricity Investment Tax Credit alongside it actually disincentivizes partnerships with Indigenous governments where there's an equity component. Has the government given consideration to that, and is that something that will be addressed in very short order with legislation for the Clean Electricity Tax Credit?
That one. Well, I think you're absolutely right in terms of how you're posing the question, because the Clean Technology Investment Tax Credit is for businesses, and tax-exempt entities are not eligible. It's a tax program. Now, what the government has decided to do, and this is fairly unique, is actually to create a different credit for tax exempts, which include Indigenous communities.
As a part of developing that legislation, is the government considering requests to ensure that Indigenous-owned non-taxable entities would be able to realize a full 30% discount as part of the investment tax credit, so that projects with Indigenous partnerships aren't put at a competitive disadvantage to purely private sector projects when it comes to building clean electricity?
So at this point, it is 15% for the non-taxable. I mean, again, the nature of non-taxable entities, the type we are also talking, you have crown corporations in there as well. So in that respect, ultimately the decision was to have a lower credit rate. So to get to the mechanics very quickly, the private partner, the business, can claim on their share the 30%, and then the tax exempt on their share can claim the 15%.
I think it's important for the department and for the government to know that there is certainly support in Parliament for seeing Indigenous governments be able to realize a full 30% in order not to disincentivize partnership with Indigenous governments on clean electricity projects.